having a baby, Julia, has taken a bit of a toll on your gardening.
Yes, I'm not the most green-fingered person at the best of times, so it does take more effort than it should. But yeah, the neglect my garden has suffered is ridiculous.
So hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bold Explorer, and this is my quest for England. You may remember we last year were doing just the very occasional features of Julia's kitchen garden.
Yeah.
And we started with Julia's kitchen garden getting rid of, if you remember, all the teasels that were here.
I remember very well.
And one night I just thought, do you know what, I'll help you and I'll dig up all the teasels. And we dug up all the teasels and then we cleared the space and we got some horse manure, and Mr. Suggett from the Veg Grower podcast was suggesting this no dig thing, which we put the horse manure down. And then we started to grow some stuff.
Yes.
And it was all very good. But having a baby has obviously, when you were pregnant, not so easy.
No.
With a big pouch.
Yes, that wasn't so much the problem. The problem was the sickness.
Oh yes, you were quite sick, weren't you?
Yes, constantly.
So, because of that, the garden has actually gone to seed rather badly.
Poor thing.
But here we are with this very odd situation that we're all in now. The country and the world has been plunged into this coronavirus emergency, and of course people are thinking, apart from panic buying, where can I get my next tin of baked beans from the supermarket? I wonder if I can grow some runner beans in my garden or on my windowsill.
Yes, make the most of it, every little patch they've got.
So I thought it'd be quite interesting to see how plausible it is really, and just sort of catch up with you and your kitchen garden and have a look at the state of play. And the state of play is, it looks to me like everything's got to come out and start all over again. Although you have got raspberries and strawberries, they seem to be okay.
Yeah, raspberries and blackberry, I think.
Yeah,
but they're not going to in pots elsewhere.
They're not going to provide us with immediate food.
No, I mean, even if we start growing now, it's still going to be weeks or months or so.
Months away. But I suppose at least it's at the beginning of this growing season. It's not like if this coronavirus business had come in October, when you're just going to be getting winter veg. I suppose potatoes you could have grown, which would have been all right. But yeah, we're going to have to think about getting out. But I think what's also interesting is it just goes to show what nature is like. If you don't have man attending to the ground, nature will just go berserk.
Nature will claim it back.
And in there I can see the weeds, and particularly the teasels, the leaves of the teasels, which I think are those green leaves on the ground behind us. I think they're going to try and do those great big stalk things.
Not to correct you again, but I don't think they are. They are something else.
Are they?
Yeah.
Because I remember digging those up last year when they were much more prolific as teasels.
Yeah.
But anyway, it doesn't really matter. They're there and they've got to come out, which is a bit of a blow.
Yeah. I think looking at it, it looks like it could do with another layer of muck on there.
Yeah.
So, but whilst if we all go into lockdown, which I fear is coming, well, probably for for good reasons, this is going to be something I can do without leaving my property.
Yes,
so.
Absolutely, and good bit of exercise, and it still gets young Joseph out into the fresh air.
That's right.
One thing I have noticed when just sort of setting up to record today's little video is when we were filming the kitchen gardens before, we were plagued because your house is quite close to Shoreham Airport.
Yes.
And aeroplanes were taking off every minute or two.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's a couple of times a day. They'll do it for about an hour.
Yeah.
Just coming off and coming down and going off. And
well, today, I don't know whether that's because people are not travelling as much as they've been advised not to, but I've not had one light aircraft go overhead.
There has been far fewer lately.
Which makes it nice sitting in the garden. We've had some nice weather recently. We went out the other day onto Lancing Beach.
And incidentally, there were planes going off from Lancing airport then.
Yes. But you know, in the days that we've had, things have changed. The advice from the government has changed.
That's right.
So it's all a bit up in the air, isn't it?
Badum-tish.
Thank you. It is all a bit up in the air. So we don't really know. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about in today's video. Apart from just positioning ourselves here, we don't really know what we as members of the public are actually going to be able to do in the forthcoming weeks, whether we're going to be allowed to go out. Somebody came up with this very weird rumour that a government thing was going to be passed, that you wouldn't be able to travel at all, and there would be the military on the streets you'd have to have some sort of chit to say either you're going to work or that you have a destination. You can't just go out randomly. I personally don't think that's likely to happen, because how could you police that?
It's not practical, is it?
It just seems a bit barking and a bit fear-mongering. And the one thing that I want to make sure with the Bald Explorer is that we don't do any fear-mongering at all, and that we keep trying to bring to you the outdoors, especially if you're stuck indoors. So, you know, I shall try and move hell and high water to make sure that we can still get out and about and do stuff. However, if we are locked down, then there is the live streams option, and it may be that the Bald Explorer will do live streams in the day, and then on my Vobes show channel we'll do live streams on that in the evening, and try and do 2 different types of shows.
Yes, that sounds like a good idea.
So, because you were saying, what were you saying? You were saying something about other people doing live.
I've got quite a few musician friends on, particularly on Facebook, and they usually do open mics, open mic nights and things like that. But they're planning to do them during the day on live streams now, so they can interact with people and bring cheer.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's so important that what we do is to keep people entertained and focused on good things, instead of things that listening to the news all day long and just getting more and more worried. I think that's going to be a nightmare. After all, let's face it, remember at Christmas time, when you're almost self-isolated with the family, people can't cope, 3 or 4 days at Christmas, and that's in the time of good cheer and everything, and you're passing around the brandy snaps and the chocolates. When people are on rations inside, it's going to be bedlam. They're going to turn to other things, and hopefully that's something that we can provide as best we can. And
there's
keep
the hope.
Yes, there's the hope, absolutely, because there is no end to this. We don't know when it's going to be back to normal, and what will normal be afterwards.
Oh, quite.
It's all such a new and very strange thing, and there's still that sense, I think, with the British public, and this sort of goes into my quest for England, that the English nature is that we will have the stiff upper lip, and that we will just carry on. It's that keep calm and carry on blitz spirit, that we will actually help each other out.
Yeah.
So the other thing I wanted to get across is that for those of you watching on YouTube, you may be aware that we have a Facebook group, the Bald Explorer Facebook group. And the thing about the Bald Explorer Facebook group is it is a network. It's a network of friendly people across
all walks of life.
From all walks of life and across the world. But obviously a lot are in the south of England, because that's mainly where we're doing the videos, but hopefully we'll grow and what have you. But what I wanted to say is that we want to use that network as a helpline for people who might feel a bit vulnerable, who can't get out, who perhaps need some extra supplies of this, that and the other. Don't all ask for loo roll.
one square a piece.
But I think, if it does go the way it might go, we're going to need those strong connections and friendships. And the Bald Explorer Facebook group, although it is really there for sharing photos and videos of heritage, landscape and nature, it may just be a lifeline for somebody. So if you're not a member, do join, and don't be shy about saying if you need some help or support.
Do not hesitate, because there are a lot of lovely people out there, and a lot of them are in group, and we will be more than happy to do what we can. I mean, we're all here to support each other.
Absolutely.
We're all in the same boat.
We are.
Essentially.
Yeah. So that's really our message for today. Thank you so much for liking and watching the photos and stuff. The one other idea that I did have is it may be some older viewers may remember we had a roving device called Bessie.
I've almost forgotten about Bessie.
Which is this large yellow box, and we were doing live Bald Explorer shows. We did, the main ones were from Biddenden in Kent, where we attended the Tractor Festival.
Yeah, that was so fun.
Excuse me. And I thought it may be that if we could do longer videos, because people are now trapped and, 10 minute over a cup of tea, they may want longer videos, but we could do them live. And if it's still possible to go to places, then we would take Bessie, set that up and do live, bring the countryside to you if you're stuck indoors and can't get out, and we can do it live and interact with you live.
Maybe take the little gas ring and everything, the camping gas ring.
Yeah, that would be great. I was supposed to be going up to Oxford to do 3 days of walks and stuff around Oxford. I had the BBC were going to interview me and do a package for their BBC Oxford show. My Airbnb this morning cancelled the reservation. They've repaid the money, and it may be that some of our other trips, the Airbnbs, may cancel those, which is a real shame, because we've got lots of touring dates all lined up and things to go to.
Yep.
So we'll keep you posted on that. That's another thing.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So the other option, I haven't got the money at the moment to buy a camper van, because if I had a camper van I'd be doing that. But I may have to go into my shed and find my old tent and maybe go and do some overnight. I may end up doing this wild camping.
Oh, I'm so jealous. I'd love to do that.
Well, you can come along. We'll go wild camping with our little camping stove and do the best we can. So so chin up. We're going to try and keep the videos going, as I'm sure many of the YouTubers who rely on making videos as a living will try to do. If you're stuck at home, you may not be earning as much money as you once were, which I completely understand. This is how I make my living now, and I've got nothing to fall back on. So just the odd pound here and there, if you feel like donating, will really make a difference. And as I say, we'll make that effort to get out and try and bring heritage, landscape and nature as much as we can to you on a daily basis.
Yes.
So it's getting a bit cold out here now, though.
It is a wee bit nippy.
So I think we'll go and have a cup of tea inside.
Yeah, fresh one.
Or we could go to the supermarket and see if they've got any toilet roll. Yeah.
Oh.
After all, you haven't got any plants big enough around here to wipe our bums on.
Well, I suppose there's that wild thing there, but it doesn't look very comfortable.
That doesn't look very nice. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, take care, and thumbs up if you enjoyed the video.
Yeah.
Bye for now.
Chin up, keep healthy.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.